and win and key phrase. That key phrase for the week is Grand Master II, the return of the James. So we're going to do that.
Grand Master II.
The return of the James.
Is 2 is like a number 2 or
I'll
TWO?
take either. Or the 2 or the Roman numeral 2, you know.
No, Roman numeral.
Yeah.
Aye.
So we do that one, and you want to do another gift certificate?
Yeah, let's do a $25 gift certificate.
25.
So if you're typing in the Grand Master
So the first person
2,
put that back out on the Patreon post gets the 25 discount. So we're going to add that to your online account.
Oh, I thought that was going to be for the drawing.
No. For the drawing, we need to figure out something else. But we haven't done the drawing in a bit. Sorry about that,
well,
guys.
let's do a $25 gift certificate for those guys, too.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So $50 whole dollars.
Wow.
Tonight.
Nigel can do the honors. Not the pink one.
Stubby's being generous.
Then I guess you should do auto siphon because I break mine all the time.
Yeah. Well, you can get 2 auto siphons for $25.
And the lucky winner is Chris George.
Chris George. There
That's
you go.
a dude with 2 first
All right,
names.
so 25 going to Chris, too. So Chris will be in touch, hopefully
Thank you,
soon.
Chris. And congratulations.
Yeah, way to go,
for
Chris
sure.
George.
You can buy 2
You better take a
freaking
picture
auto
of this so you know.
siphons.
You can buy like 2.5, I think.
It usually takes me at least until Sunday to get back to this.
Damn it, Greg.
Sometimes a
can't
little
have
longer.
things.
Sorry, guys.
It's like
It's because it takes him 2 days to recover from the hangover.
It's like you got kids or something, you know.
Or a whole bunch of people at my house and then coming over to my house.
It's not like he got like 2 kids that are, within a few months of being the same
So
age.
isn't this a great break from the in-laws, right?
It is kind of nice right now.
Are you trying to say you don't like the in-laws?
Wow.
No, I love the in-laws.
I hope they're not listening.
Shots
No, I
fired
love
at
the in-laws.
Yeah, like the in-laws are listening to his beer shit. I'm just saying.
No, tomorrow we're going to have some fun with a lot of family coming over, and we already have family here.
Are
So
you gonna make
Describe fun.
cookies?
that's why it's good that we have the house that we have now. It actually holds these people. So
You have a different house.
makes it useful.
I'm coming to your house tomorrow. I'm just saying.
Okay, whatever, dude.
I'm coming to your house tonight.
I got 10 full kegs, so you know where it is.
I do know where your kegerator is.
Yeah. Just show up, go through the gate. Nobody will notice. They'll be like, who the hell is this guy?
Bring my
Just leave him
Barca
alone.
lounger. Just sit there and
Just leave him alone. He'll be over there drinking all the damn.
I'll
Pilsner.
just put my mouth underneath your taps and
I don't know where
Whoa,
you're
Okay.
that's about to get
Yeah,
weird.
that's enough. All right.
Easy, guys. Easy, guys.
This is not a G-rated show, but this is not a that kind of show.
oh
Yeah,
okay.
this-
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
sure?
I'm not sure what I just said, but anyway.
It's okay. You'll be all right.
All right, so we're going to try to keep on that monthly because we kind of lost our bag full of names, and I kind of forgot to bring them in as I should have sooner. So
Anyway,
All right, so
we've
anyway,
kept up with this month's obligation, right?
yes,
So
that's December.
we had our unbelievable, awesome producer here tonight, Eric. He went
He's
to
okay.
He went to France,
Yeah, he's
and,
all
and,
right.
and so he had a couple beers he brought back to us from France. So, is there any input you want to say about these beers that you brought us back, Eric? I know we had a couple, and we're going to drink them real quick before we drink the
Hey, that's cool.
the other Lithuanian stuff.
Yeah, before we get to Lithuania, let's go France. I was in the south of France in a little town called Figeac.
Sorry.
And, don't be sorry. I was.
Isn't that what's the song? Is it all the girls in France, they don't wear no underpants? Oh.
Yeah, and also all the immigrant guys will hit on you. That's what I found out too. But no, these
Guys hit on you.
yeah, amazingly.
He was wearing the Spider-Man.
It was
You
a
see
Spider-Man
your
outfit.
pants.
I'm
It
just
must
saying.
have been
And
yeah.
his solo pants.
I think it was
It
the
must have been
pants.
the solo pants. But no, these beers we drank one of the beers that are brought back at the Texas Brewing Christmas
party, yeah.
So we completed one of those challenges, but we have 2 more, and these were from the south of France. I was told that they were brewed within 100 kilometers of where I was.
So they're from the south.
There you go.
They're not from
So
the
the south
Flanders
of
region.
France.
They're not from the Beergard region. But I can't wait to try these. I'm super excited.
And this one was called
It's just
because
you're a coon ass.
Well, yeah, a little French heritage, but
Yeah, right.
there's something fascinating about the Beergard style.
yeah.
and-
Okay, so this one is I don't even know how to say is brasserie.
Brasserie.
Yes.
Brasserie.
It was the all nougat.
It just says
That got
artisanal
me. It says
beer ale.
It's like with nougat.
That's all you
Yeah,
need to know.
artisanal.
It's artisanal beer.
But it has nougat in it.
It says nougat.
No,
so
it-
I was,
So
I
is this
was
like
in
Three
thrall.
Musketeers
It says
in a
nougat open it.
How
Bro,
appropriately
we're gonna
French.
Find out. That's
I mean,
all
look,
gotta
it
say.
says nougat.
all nougat. Yes.
So it's like Three Musketeer.
You know,
beer.
Google will translate that for
I'm
you.
going to say, let's not go on Neanderthal here.
And and by the way, Google
Open it.
translates that to with nougat. So
with nougat.
yeah. So
Well,
pour
that's
pour
what
that
that's
sucker
what
out.
a Three Musketeers candy bar is. It has chocolate
It has nougat
covered
yeah.
nougat.
Well, where were the
It's got nougat,
Musketeers
That's right.
from?
And the Musketeers were from France.
Exactly.
So this is a Three Musketeers beer.
You're hurting
Right?
James right now.
That's what we're expecting. Yeah.
Your
Yeah,
logic
James's soul is withering away.
Yeah, I know. This,
your logic is making me bleed.
All for one and one for all.
Jesus.
shut up and pour the beer.
So we have this one, and then we have the other one, which is
Laissez le bon temps rouler.
Hang on, that's
Another
a
amber,
hang
I
on, that's a
think.
12-ounce bottle. How do you
Whoa!
get 2 lots? Look at that.
you're gonna get a small
Everybody else gets an ounce, and Stubby gets 9.
You got to get some of this. This is not what I was expecting.
Okay, holy shit. Whatever nougat is.
Is that vanilla?
No, it's hazelnut.
Eric brought
I'm
it
not sure
back.
I
He
wanna
gets as
know.
much as
Is
he
it
wants.
hazelnut?
It's
Hey,
hazelnut.
hey, Mikey, it sucks to be you. You're last in the line.
Yeah, I'm
Wow,
good.
this is
I'm
really
good.
amazing aroma.
That's all like in coffee, you know. You get that hazelnut or
It's
any
very.
nutty
It's
coffee.
got a very candy aroma to it.
Wow, but it doesn't taste sweet.
Well, I haven't got that far. I'm still
It
putting
is
my
like a
nose in it.
latte
Right.
or something, a hazelnut latte. Whatever.
Yeah, it's like a hazelnut coffee.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's exactly it. It's the same,
Man,
same
that's
flavor. as
really
hazelnut.
good. And so, where did you get this one at?
It
Eric?
was. Like I
Total
said,
wine.
it was. I was told that
He said
these-
France.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, it was
I know
in
it's
France.
fucking France.
Yeah, the Total Wine France store.
It was not Spain, Portugal, England, Italy. It was France.
Yes. Now I was told.
Where
I
girls
was
don't
told
wear
that
no
these were
underpants.
brewed within 100 kilometers of where I was at, which was in Figeac, France. is where I was.
So I
Here's a picture I'm going to show
So
this.
South France.
I absolutely hate this character in coffee, but I think this works really well in beer.
It's awesome how it disguises itself because you just don't expect it once you take a drink.
And it
what-
finishes with sort of an herbal thing too, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Wow, this is amazing, dude. Thanks for bringing this back.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
not bad, is
awesome.
why didn't we taste it earlier?
Yeah,
And it really does have a very caramelly nose to it.
I wish I knew how to speak French more, but
That's really good.
Well, try it.
Send
It
send
couldn't be worse than Stubby Little Christmas, could
send
it?
it this way. Oh, no, it can't be. But hey,
can't be. No.
So
Have yourself. A
I'm trying to
Frenchy
figure
little
out how
Christmas.
true, proper British English translates to French.
hey, let's send it this way. I did study French for a bit. At
I
school.
studied 4 years. You know how much I remember?
Well, you were born there.
Laissez le bon temps rouler.
Yeah, Simon Le Bon.
So,
Simon Le Bon is not French.
I know
but it's
how.
la bon.
Oui,
He's German.
That's pretty good, though. I like that.
That's a fun
oui,
beer.
oui is German.
That's really tasty.
No, Simon Le Bon is German.
Oh, okay.
No, like I said, if you gave me a coffee with that, I'd spit it out. I hate it. Absolutely hate that note
Really?
in coffee, but I
Man,
love it
it's
in
like
beer.
vanilla and like.
Yeah, it's very nougaty. It really is.
No,
Makes
that,
you think of nougat.
hey, that beats the shit out of that candy bar with nougat. All for one and one for all.
Damn right
I'm
it
just
does.
saying.
D'Artagnan, you suck.
Yeah, this is much better than D'Artagnan would have come up with.
what do you
No,
have,
that's
Nigel?
really good, man.
Nothing.
Got
Nothing.
a really candy nose to
What's
it. though.
what's
Honestly,
in our next
Eric,
one?
I would buy this on a regular basis if I could get it here. That's really
not
good.
Bad. That's good.
It's really
what's
good.
the what's the other one you have out there?
We may need to
Stubby?
we may need to look this one up. Oh man, this has got a bunch of cats on the front. So
Yeah, we'll show it to the camera.
it might-
This one is
it-
made of cats.
It's gonna be cat piss, right?
Cat pee.
That's what it can be.
Great.
And by the way, while I was
I don't
in
even know how to
Figeac,
say that.
There was an alley
It's
that
got to
was,
be woo.
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
was an
Thierry.
alley in Figeac that I called Rue de Pipi because it smelled like cat piss. Every
Is
time we
it-
walked down it, so maybe this was brewed there.
What are you gonna do about it? Yeah.
This looks like I would say this Le Turlette.
Yeah, Le Tourlet. It does have a
The cat's toilet.
yeah.
Is that what we're
Would that
talking
be
about?
Le
here?
Turlette?
Come on,
Open it
James.
and find out.
Come on,
Le
James. Decipher
Tourlet.
this for us.
I wouldn't put the T's in there and put the Le
Just Le
Turlet.
Turlet.
And
Le
so,
Turlette.
Le
Let
Tourlet.
So-
poo poo.
Well,
La
fuck.
la wee wee.
y'all gonna make
Open
me
it.
say bass words.
Just know this show has
For
gone
it.
downhill very fast. Okay.
Thank you, Will, for a smashingly good
Yeah, what
first
is-
part.
Piece of
Sorry
Le-
that we
Le
Tourlet.
destroyed it in a second.
Is it poo poo? Is it wee wee?
is the wee wee. La la ba la wee.
shot the wee wee.
Holy shut the wee wee.
Holy shot.
Le Chateau wee wee.
is the shot the wee wee.
Oh, it's got a little tartness to it.
Yeah, it's tart.
Wow. That's not what I was expecting.
No,
that's
it's tart.
that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's
I like
clean.
that.
It's clean like
Yeah,
know,
you
it's
get
lactic.
that tartness on
It's
the
got
nose.
just a hint of lacto. Wow.
I hope it was done intentionally.
Yeah, I would hope so.
No, it's a clean beer. Sorry.
It kind of tastes like it was not done
Intentionally. You don't think it was intentionally?
clean. I don't think this was
Really?
intentionally made like this. No.
oh man. I
Oh
think
yeah. No.
Mm,
I might have to agree with James.
No, it smells. I think it's good.
it's kind of pickly. It's a little pickly.
I think that's an
And-
accident.
And I had another beer there that was similar to this. That was an amber,
No, that's an accident.
and it had that kind of pickly flavor to it. and
Die
those little-
Dusche, die Amber.
And I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it very much.
The
But
douchey amber.
Well, let me kind of segue into a little bit about what we're going to talk about next, just because it's so dear to my heart.
I like the shit out of this beer.
Is-
I don't give a
is-
damn what
right
you
on.
say.
This could be within what a beer de garde originally was, and the beer de garde style started in France and
Yeah.
and Eastern or Western Germany, and as a style that was really migrant farm workers were going by, and we really don't know a lot about exactly what was brewed because every farmhouse was different, and this could have been one of those farmhouses that made beer that came out this way.
I would
that was
really like to
intentionally
know
sour.
where this particular beer came from, because I would be willing to bet money it was from the Flanders region.
And it could have been. I mean, that would have been in that same same
North-
area.
North-
Oakley
North
dokley.
French. Will you check that for us? Because I think this tastes like a
certainly
great.
willily doolily. I will check that for Flanders.
No, I really. want that.
I
That's all
don't think
got.
everybody that watches this show is a Simpsons.
Just turned it
viewer.
off.
Yes, they probably just yeah.
No, but I really think this tastes like a really mild
It's mild.
Flanders.
It is. Yeah,
Uh,
it kind of is like a mild red.
It is in that range, and like I said, very much it could have been something that was very traditional to that farmhouse, something that they've always made, and my assumption of it just going bad could be completely wrong. It could be what they've been normally make.
No, I really like it if that's what they're intending
Yeah.
on doing. It was like, what was it? La Cap Pee Wee Wee?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Le shot P.
This is getting worse.
Le Chat Pee Pee?
Le shot PP.
What was the name of that beer? Really though, I'm serious.
La woo wee wee poo poo.
The
Yeah, who's
first
got it out
La Tur. La,
Le Turliti.
Yeah, La Turlet.
Delay.
yes.
Yeah,
And it
Le
has some
Turlet
cats
de
on the
shots,
front, though.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say we're very sorry.
No,
Just-
I
just
mean
gonna throw
really
that out
though.
there.
I
We
don't.
damn well need to be sorry.
Just in case.
Hey,
the,
holy shit!
the brewery maybe.
The closest thing we had to French is fucking
Holy shit.
and he
you know,
can't even
James
speak
over
French.
here.
But I can make a mean gumbo, so don't worry about that.
We don't know. I mean, you told us about your jambalaya.
Whoa, we don't need to know about his jambalaya.
My jambalaya is good. My
I'm just-
gumbo is
I'm
something
just
else.
grateful when I bring English beers back. We
His
speak
jumbo?
the same language.
I know, right?
I did notice
Oh my
though
God,
that these
the
ambers
butchering.
from France that I had while I was there, they were a little bit tartar than
Usual.
than what we would be used to.
Maybe they are some sort of like light Flanders red.
So
like
the ambers, the ambers there were kind of like a light.
Well, and there's such a wine region that that tartness maybe
probably
something
not nothing.
that's what they want.
Seek out.
you know.
Yeah.
And
So-
it's traditional. It's the traditional yeast.
Well,
that was
so
local.
here's something that I was at Sam's Club the other day, and I'm not a big wine drinker. I'm really not, but
Here
I
you
do.
are.
But I do like beer. I do like bourbon,
You sure?
right? No, I do. I like bourbon. I like beer.
No.
Well, so I got this. All my family loves red wine. And there's some red wines that I can really get into. I really like. So I got this. It's like something, the Cellarman and the Thief or something like that. And what it is it's all these guys do. I don't know if it's I know it's something in the Thief. But they make they age all their red wine in bourbon barrels.
Yeah.
And holy crap, dude! I really, really liked it. It was really good because it cut some of the acidity from the red wine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like bourbon in your face. I really enjoyed it. It was really interesting. So anyway, I digress. So let's get into this next thing.
That's
The
what's
Omega.
so great about beer, just in general, because you can employ all of these flavors in there.
All right.
Enjoy them.
Are you
Exactly.
doing the translate on the
Yes.
the beer?
I'm trying to translate Latourlet.
Show the camera.
Today.
Which translates to the Turlet.
That's what I thought.
The Turlet. Come on.
Oh, it's not going to
it's not
show
gonna carry.
on.
Made up word. Made up word.
But
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
so the
I
the
tried.
Google Translate is Turlet.
The
Turlet.
Turlet. Yeah. Yeah. But not toilet.
So
it's
you know-
not.
But it's cat pee
Lavatory.
though, so it's
Die
all-
Toiletten.
It didn't say cat box, so that's
No,
a good
it
thing.
didn't. It didn't
So-
say litter box.
So we're drinking a beer that's has cats on it,
Yeah.
and its translate
It's
is
just-
to toilet.
It's just no.
The
That's
toilet.
not what it said.
No, it just says what it says on the bottle.
Toilet.
Turlet.
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 Turlet
All right,
stands
so
for
let's drink a new beer.
All right. So now,
Turlet.
moving on to our Omega Jovaru Lithuanian
Holy
Farmhouse
shit.
results.
Yay, let's drink
Yes.
some beer.
All right, so James and I
evolved.
both brewed for this. James brewed
Is-
2 batches of beer.
is this
Yeah, it is. Let me run through
Okay,
the
so
description from their website
from
about
the
what
Omega,
the yeast is.
The Omega Yeast strain that we're
It's
using.
born from an exclusive partnership with the famed Jovaru breweries Aldana Udrian, I think, queen of Lithuanian farmhouse beer. This unique yeast complements farmhouse beers with citrusy esters and restrained phenols. The strain produces a character of lemon pith, black pepper, and a soft mouthfeel, which I find to be accurate. It tests positive for STA1 gene, which is an indicator of diastaticus. So it's going to keep doing this thing. The brewer, Miss Udrian, or however it's pronounced, whose beers have won awards internationally, has been brewing beer in the same manner that her family has for centuries, consistently cultivating the same yeast strain. This is one of the key reasons that her farmhouse ale, or Kamaiskas alas in Lithuanian, is so distinctive. The same thing that I just said
I
is
can use
also
Google
unique.
Translate if you want.
I know what it is. It's basically them saying, whatever farmhouse ale is, more or less, I think. Also unique because the beer is it is unfiltered, unpasteurized, and naturally carbonated. And because the malt is never heated, proteins remain in the beer, making what is actually a dry beer seem a bit on the sweet side. While the beer has all beer has a shelf life, this particular style is enjoyed best fresh within 1 month of brewing. So over there, they're making what is considered a raw ale. You can look at the Lars blog. People who are in the know about the Lars blog will find it. He's got a really great
Lars
description
blog?
of going to visit this place. He's the guy that's finding the Kveik yeast.
Okay,
He's
okay.
having great descriptions of going and visiting the actual places that have been here for these historical beers. And he went there. He describes the place in great detail. I mean, you get a real good feel for being there. And he talks about the way she works and the way the beers taste and how this beer stands out so much from anything he'd had in other places. But it is considered more of a raw ale because they're mashing, and I'm not even sure if they're actually pasteurizing at all. because they might be pulling off, cooling down to about 100, pitching this yeast, and serving it in a couple of days so that it's gone in a couple of weeks type of thing.
Greg,
So,
how long have they been making this beer at that particular brewery? Is it
it's been a while. Generations, basically, is the
Okay.
description of what's going on with that. Because they're more than just her. This is just, like the usual, like the same with the Kveik. They have their towns, people have cultivated their yeast, their blends of whatever, and Jovaru is one that's going to have a specific character versus, say, the town across, 30 miles away would have another one.
All right, so one of the things that this is my first impression I tasted this yeast. I mean, I swear to God. To me, this tastes like a sweet tart without the tartness.
Okay, so let
Would
me.
you
let's
say
step back.
that?
So interestingly,
James made two here.
And when we talked about this, it got my beer weenie all excited because it was just a new yeast. Now
You have a beer weenie?
yeah, it happens.
And it's
Says
very
the guy
stiff.
that has a beer stiffy all the time.
So this is the second generation of this. We'll try
Okay,
try the first one. What I said immediately, I'm gonna make 100% Pilsner malt. I'm gonna low hop it like in a beer to guard style where it's more malty than it is hoppy. And I have not tried it yet, so I'm ready to try it myself. Is just to exploit the yeast, see what it did. What I did notice is I fermented this relatively low for what it's usually fermented at.
Okay.
I fermented at house temperature now, so it was fermented in the 68 range, which
Right.
probably meant it was 70 degrees internal temp. And to see what it did, I noticed that when I went and kegged it 3-4 days ago, it seemed like it probably could have gone a little longer, and it looked a little cloudy. And so
Cloudy, I think, is going to be a standard from this one I've read.
it could be. So I wanted to see what it would do. I would have liked to go a little longer if it's sweet, but I intentionally did not overhop it so that way the yeast could do its job.
Now, you boiled and everything, so, there's something different as far as, the typical version of what
Yeah.
this has been used in. So, I mean, what was your finishing gravity? Do you have a...
So you're asking me questions I don't keep.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I forget.
No, it was.
No,
I shot
Finish.
this at about a 1060 and then add a little bit of sugar to bump it up a little bit higher.
what,
So it was probably
like
in about
20% sugar or 10% sugar.
about a pound after the first 2
So-
days of fermentation. So it adds a little alcohol. Interesting. I don't.
Just corn sugar?
Yeah, no, just good old fashioned table sugar.
Super.
Pineapple
Cane
sugar.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hadn't, like I said, I hadn't tried it at all. I was curious. I wanted to try it for the first time on the air and see what it did, just to get a chance to exploit the yeast and
Right.
see what it could do. Whether or not I adjust it for future generations, we'll see.
Right.
The first one, which we'll have in just a minute, was all Munich malt. At the time when I grabbed the yeast, I had a bunch of Munich. I thought I had Pilsner, but I was out, so it was brew day, so I made Munich. Do what you got to do.
All
to
right,
adjust.
so Brandon made this the first time.
He has a
his first-
saison, but we don't have that.
He
one.
went to kill deer instead of providing
Yeah,
us.
but
with
the
sample.
his
Or kegging.
impression was,
Bastards.
oh my God, it's spicy. I don't really necessarily get
I
that.
get-
There's some spice.
I get the
there,
black
but-
pepper and the lemon pith
Yeah, me
a
too.
lot.
Me too.
So
I swear to God, this is the way I would describe it: is that you put a sweet tart in your mouth and take all the sourness out, and you get all that other flavor behind it. I mean, I swear to God, that's the way I would describe it. You get
Mikey?
that. I don't know, that kind of like. I don't.
No, I
you get that-
see what Stubby's saying. I get that sweetness. I get some of the spice. I think it's great. It's
But it dries out afterwards.
it's
sweet
really
up
dry.
front,
It
but
does
yeah.
dry
yeah,
out.
It's
I wouldn't say it was sweet. I would just say it just.
no,
that's-
but that tart.
If
that
you throw-
sweet
if you-
tart kind of character, I get it.
if you
Yeah.
threw that tart in there with that, it would taste like a sweet
So
tart.
yeah, and you're right. And what's interesting here is the base was more like a blonde beer to guard,
Right.
which is generally more on the sweeter side. The hops are, next to no presence at all, and I've never ever made that style. This was
Right.
I was throwing, whatever at the wind, and just to
Right.
see what would come out, and it gave me something very different than what I expected, but
Anticipated,
I
yeah.
didn't. I had no true expectations. I wanted to see what the yeast will do, and I gotta say, based on everything I know about everything you taste in this beer is that yeast.
Yes.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
not
Yeah, it
tasting
is.
anything that I did.
Yeah.
Because everything was so pure. I mean, just Pilsner malt, a very little bit of Hallertauer, just enough.
I would agree 100% with
So,
that.
Yeah.
so Greg, this is your version we're drinking right now, right?
No, that's James.
It's James.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's
so-
mine's for last. Trust me.
Okay.
You're still gonna get the yeast. But it's gonna be a style of a beer that you actually had, and we've talked about on the show, the exact same recipe, but an American style IPA
Okay. So,
with
so James, you say this is Munich?
This is pure
this
Pilsner.
is pills.
Fuse Pills.
The next
Okay.
one we're going to try is
This
Munich.
Okay.
And so, and this is what I'm really excited about is I wanted to see what this yeast will do and then adjust later.
With a
and
blank
tell you what I would
canvas.
do with it because
Right.
when I drink this, I want a little more bitterness. I want a
I get
little.
that.
I've got that coming.
I want a pinch. I want a pinch of hops at the end. I don't want IPA.
No,
but I
but I've
wanna-
got that coming, so you have some concept.
Yeah, and I can't wait because guess what we get to do? We get to. Unfortunately, the listeners can't do this, but
Yeah.
we can blend them together and see what we come
Right.
up with. And what I
From
there's
what
some
I
exciting
understand,
things.
the original recipes of this, like here, like if you went there to the place that we're talking
Yeah.
about, where this came from, they're doing a hop tea extract on the side that they're adding to that raw ale. So
Yeah,
that's why it's never been
sounds like a
boiled.
whole lot of work.
It does sound like, I mean, other than cutting out an hour of boiling
Yeah,
time,
but so
you know,
does a boil, right? I mean,
Yeah, sit back.
Well,
But
and here's
we'll,
what's
I
really-
don't know what their IBUs necessarily for that would be.
Here's
so.
what's really interesting about this because I think that's a really unique flavor
yeah,
that
I
this,
agree.
this yeast is putting out, and I think this, for me as a home brewer or somebody that really loves to learn new flavors, is that this is somewhere in between a basic and an acidic flavor.
No
it's
doubt
kind of
about it.
weird.
No,
It's kinda-
absolutely, I agree with you.
Well, that
it's kinda-
lemoniness alone.
It's but it's not like lemony to the point to where it's like acidic, like you're biting on a lemon. It's
No.
It's weird. It's kind of like
It's earthy. It's the pith earthiness that
yeah,
comes
it's almost
with
like cream
with the spicy
cream
on
of
top of it.
tartar kind of flavor. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, no, absolutely, and that's what I'm excited.
And the soft mouthfeel.
We're about to
Yeah,
try
it's
something.
soft mouthfeel, but no acidity. But you kind of get that acidity a little bit, like citrus type flavor, but it's not like in your.
It really
freaking
reminds me
face.
of a Belgian pale ale.
Yeah,
You know, it's not too much. It's not saison territory, and it's not into the range of a triple
Yeah, but it's
or
got a
something
lot
like
more
that. It's
mouthfeel.
Belgian pale ale,
It's
but
got
it's
more like
not the same as, you know.
I don't
you
know.
get a lot of
how-
mouthfeel because this is all pills. It's just,
I know, but it's like I got like this lingering
Yeah.
flavor.
I think
on
that's
my
definitely the
mouth.
yeast.
It's not like sweetness. It's not like. I mean, it's
But
almost
that's-
like I guess the best way I can say, and mind you guys out there in the podcast, it don't really like. I don't know how to explain it because it's really unique. It really is.
Yeah.
It's like
but that's the beauty of it because that's where it
Yeah.
sets its footprint in the BJCP world.
that's why
as
I'm
being
excited
some-
about
yeah,
this
being
because it's
something
something
different.
completely different.
Yeah, it's got characteristics of this. It's got characteristics of that. It's got characteristics of the other. But it doesn't completely take on any individual
I mean,
aspect.
now if this beer, if I would have said it was super crisp and clean and had that same characteristic, yeah, I've had that before, but
Right.
it's
Yeah.
not that.
It's not that.
It's got like this. I don't know. It's like a coating texture. It's like
It's the mouthfeel.
it's a
that's coming out of
mouthfeel,
the
but
yeast,
it's
yeah.
kind of like a. It's like you ate some kind of sweet,
Yeah.
but it's not sweet. It's kind of like a semi-sweet. It's weird, man. It's pretty incredible. I'm
Well,
really excited about it.
and let's see because
It's a-
what's going to
yeah.
be fun is we're about to flip this over to
Let's try the Munich.
a Munich base with a little touch of crystal, and then we're going to flip it with hops. And are we going to come up with the same core characteristics that we're getting out of this strip beer? And if we are, then it tells us a lot. If we're not, then it tells us nothing. But
Well, I just know.
I think
from-
we will,
from-
actually.
I know from just drinking this beer. Wow, I'm excited at the difference because I've
Yeah.
never tasted anything like that. That's pretty
This-
freaking incredible.
this could become my house beer with just a pinch more hops, a little more
in
bitters.
a naked,
Yeah.
and let's face it, it's what we've tasted right now is in a naked base, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get much more naked than Pilsner
No,
malt.
that's it. It's
But
just
what the
yeah.
what the beauty of this thing is, man, is that, and you guys out there in podcasting land will never hear me get that excited about yeast, but wow, this is something really different.
Hey, I never got
Holy
your head excited
shit.
about mulling spices until earlier. So
Wow,
Tonight's,
that's true too. It's
Are you ready,
anomaly.
James?
But no, I'm freaking serious. This tastes different than any other yeast that I've ever tasted in my life.
Very,
This
very
is-
unique.
It's
Yeah.
very unique. It's like
I think that's why Omega's
Almost-
excited about this yeast.
almost
And why
like
it's-
holy cow! Look at the color of that.
honest to God, it's almost like pastry-like. Wouldn't you say? I mean,
Yeah,
kinda
no,
has-
this one it is. It's
kinda like a
pastry-like.
pastry
There's no,
like.
it
It's
has
weird.
it has some of that light graininess, but it's little bready. You don't even get a lot of the graininess out of the pills like you'd expect. There's the yeast is taken over, and that's what I'm so excited is I wanted to see it do that. I mean,
Well, if you find the Lars blog entries on this, he's got more than one. If you read it, what you guys are talking about, I think he experienced as well. There's
Really?
something to be said about his experiences with this beer and the mouthfeels, especially
yeah,
the characteristic of. Now we're talking about more of a raw ale version, but like the characteristic of the protein content that was left in the beer, helping with the dry beer that I know how dry mine got, but I also had some complications I have to describe. But
well, I can't tell you how dry this gets because I don't check final gravity, but. Let's see what an amber style would work with.
man, that's almost like there's spices added to this.
See, that's the same damn characteristics. It's the same yeast. It's the same.
But I think that caramel and
So
the
this is Munich
Munich,
plus see what?
Yeast.
Wow.
So it might have a pinch of like a Crystal 60, but
But it's
4 ounces. I don't think I put.
I'm gonna say it's a completely different color. I know Munich's gonna give it a bit of color.
Yeah, but it has that same
Oh,
yeast
yeah, that's-
characteristic,
it-
man.
it-
It dominates the flavor.
This is all about the yeast.
Munich's very orange,
wow.
especially all orange.
No,
but
that's
it's
that's
got
what I was
there's-
hoping for.
There's a hint of malt, but in the nose, just a hint. But I get all yeast.
Lemon
Really?
pith and
It is,
spicy,
it's all
like black
yeast.
pepper.
Yeah.
Lemon
Yeah.
pith and
Yeah,
black
yeah,
pepper again.
Here's
So-
what I would say. I was excited about the Kveik yeast, but the Kveik yeast to me doesn't have that much impact on flavor as this one does.
This is all yeast.
Man,
yeah.
this is all yeast, and it's like in your freaking face yeast characteristic. Man, it is.
That's really
That
cool.
is really awesome. I mean, I'm excited about this
Yeah, I got
because I think you could
4.5
really do
gallons
some
more of it, so I'm
cool
really
shit with this, man.
me
Well, but-
too. I
but-
think so.
But I'm just thinking that what you've done with this, James, is pretty much you're going, oh, this is a smash beer for the most part with little to no hops,
no doubt about it.
and let's do 100. What would you do on the first one? Was all pills and
All pills, and then
and a little bit of
this one's virtually all Munich.
all Munich, and then man, they both taste very similar. But I actually like the one that's all Munich.
See, I do
think
too.
it's- yeah.
I like to have a little malt to support it. I think that the pills need a little more bitterness. I think this one doesn't need anything.
This is pastry. The all Munich is much more pastry.
This,
right?
me,
one,
it's-
this one's much.
Kind of depends on what you're going for. I really like the Pilsner,
Yeah, I love it too.
but
Well-
but that's like going for something tart. This is completely different and equally as enjoyable.
Yeah.
Holy crap. So one of the things that I would say, when we're saying pastry, I don't want that to sound like it's sweet. I'd almost want it, what I would like to say is confectionery.
Yeah, the
Wouldn't you
flowery
say?
quality, not
This-
flowery even, but the
It's not
the
like
crust.
It's not like
Yeah,
over the
yeah.
top, in your freaking face sweet. It's not like that. It's not like, I mean, the best way I can say is like confectionery.
It's-
like
yeah.
like
It's not-
like powdered sugar.
It's not ground crackery.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's that lightly toasted.
Lightly
pie crust.
sugary.
Yes,
yeah,
pie
but
crust.
not
Pie
not-
crust. You know.
But it's not like malty sweet. Would
It's
you
like
say?
lemon
No.
tart
No.
kind of.
Man, that's
That last one, honestly, there's a little bit of something about
That's
like sort of
fucking
a Christmas
kick-ass.
cookie coming out of the
Oh, no
Munich.
doubt about it. Yeah,
Christmas
absolutely.
cookie. Like so it's got some spices in it. They're not overpowering, but it's also definitely a bready treat.
Wow.
Sweetness. That's Christmas cookie in that one.
Well,
but
what
in
we're-
turn, and weird because it does have citrus character in it, and it
What
does have black pepper.
What we're
Oh,
saying
yeah.
is this yeast is giving you pretty much any flavour you want.
yeah, and
Within the realms of, you know.
Well,
you know,
Well,
I
clear your
wasn't
glasses.
excited about this yeast as you were when
I
we were
was,
talking
I
about
was,
it.
You know, like I said,
But
beer
man,
really excited.
Hang on, Greg's
Man,
got
I
something
got to tell
for
you,
us here.
it's very rarely that my mind is like freaking blown.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, man, that this is mind blowing yeast.
This is
Get ready to be mind blown even further.
So this is
Mind-blowingly again.
this is nothing like anything we've had.
No, it's
like I s-
different. It's
even
different.
though we made a such a pure base, there's like nothing else we've had, and that's what throws it out there.
Well, that's what I mean. That's I honest to God, man, I'm not lying to you.
Well, this
I did
just wait.
not-
The yeast still stands out in something that has a lot going on in it.
Yeah, I did. Oh shit!
So-
I need another cup.
Drink her down.
you know that's like
That's a
a
blend.
blend of shit. Dump it on that.
Oh, that was bad. Whatever was in there, a bunch of shit. I just think I'd drink
That's
a
your
dump
dump.
bucket.
That's your
It
dump.
was my dump bucket. I'm just telling you the truth. I wouldn't lie.
Awesome.
I mean, I lied to you about a lot of things. but I'm not-
Jesus.
James, high five.
Yeah, thank you.
High five.
No, it's
No,
just
so
fun.
so one of the things that really excites me about home brewing in general is finding new discoveries and adding new tools to your toolkit. And man, I think this is definitely a tool that you can put in your kit.
So, Greg, what do you brew here?
Okay, so the last thing we're pouring with the Jovaru is the same West Coast IPA that I brought in with the Kveik that everybody loved with the Voss on it. It's just a standard. It's all Centennial. It's basically straightforward, but if you want the bitterness that's still in that 60-ish range and you want, some hop character and whatnot, here you go.
Holy shit, dude, that's badass.
It's badass. It is absolutely badass.
I still get lemon pith and black
Yeah.
pepper
Yes.
and mouthfeel
You
for this.
get
Yes.
that yeast character
But
all
then the
the way.
Centennial and everything else
Yeah.
kicks
Oh
in.
my
Yeah.
god.
I'm telling
That's
you.
like a- that's
This
like
is
a-
a Belgian pale ale range of something. Now, this didn't get dry hopped. I didn't dry hop it, which
Yeah,
that
but I
asks
don't
for
know
like
if-
an ounce of
I
dry
don't know if I
hopping, but
would.
but I just left it as is to see. And I mean,
All right, so this is
this
like
is still like 5 to 6 ounces of hops, I think.
man, my god. This
Of
this
Centennial.
So
A
you,
Lithuanian IPA.
so you've got
You need some of this,
absolutely,
dude.
Going
without
to-
a doubt, Greg.
I'm not crazy about the
confirm
nose,
what
but
I
the
expected.
taste is.
What the bitterness here,
Yeah,
I feel that all the flavor and the aroma hops, the yeast take over on this one.
yeah.
I think it does.
There's a small cradle, maybe.
Yeah.
And it does what it is, and I'm super excited about what this yeast has done. But the bitterness level goes through the roof, and in just a minute we're gonna 50-50 that with this original one, and we're gonna see what that does, because I'm willing to bet you my right one that when we blend those
Not
together,
the left.
Nipple,
gonna-
that
we're gonna
is.
No,
find-
he already lost his right one.
we're
so
gonna
that's
find
fine.
an amazing beer. I think all three of these are absolutely remarkable.
well,
We got some fun stuff.
They're
here.
all three different beers
so
too.
I think ultimately, I know we're going ooh and ah and wow, and I guess I mean really I think,
wow.
and I'm not bullshitting you guys out there,
That was a little
and
anticlimactic. Keep talking
and,
stuff.
and out there and listening to us, but I mean, man, I gotta tell you, this is groundbreaking. This is
It's
this
new.
is different.
It's good.
This is something I've never tasted before. I mean, all these other beers that we even the stuff, the Kveik and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, those are great. Those are great, different flavors and whatever. But they all kind of like blend together.
Yeah.
This is different.
This is
man.
different. No,
This
no,
is
I agree with you.
different.
And that's what I was so excited. I was really, really happy to have jumped in on that show.
Well-
and when I got a chance to talk to the owner of Omega, it was just intriguing. And the history of beer and the purest of beer brings so much out in my inner gut that I was super excited. And then when we brought it in, I couldn't wait to get the opportunity to exploit the hell out of the yeast.
Yeah.
And what's fun is we've done different things, but the yeast is coming out both ways. And that's where's going to be, I'm going to be honest with you, where's going to be my new house beer? Because I do like this so much.
There's, you guys know me, and you know me for a long time. I don't fanboy out on anything, but man, holy shit. This is blowing my freaking mind.
And I tried to get your ass to drive to Lithuania and bring some back.
Yeah, and you wouldn't do it. You just wouldn't do it.
You were so close.
I'm telling you, man, this shit is amazing. I am floored. I'm really floored. I didn't think, people always talking about,
Eric, did you get some of this?
Blah, 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 and this and that. Man, I'm telling you, this shit is different.
So Stubby, it's funny. I don't mean to knock you at all.
No.
Because
knock you.
when I hear a lot of the new things you bring into the shop,
yeah,
I have that opinion in my brain. I'm a purist. I go back to the old styles.
Amen.
I mean, you heard that earlier when we're talking about
sure.
ESBs. I always go back to that. And rarely does something just jump out and get my beer weenie excited.
Yeah.
And this one did, but yet I wasn't sure how it would work out until
beer weenie.
Yeah, y'all wait till I sit in the corner with this whole growler by myself naked. But
We'll be gone.
That's in about 10 minutes.
but the point you're trying to make, and as a customer, and as a person that is such a beer purist, I look back and I say, okay, what's all this new shit? Who gives a shit? I don't care. I want to make the traditional styles. When you bring me something that rocks my world and brings me something that's so different that it brings something out, and I'll tell you, one of them, yeast does an old ale.
Yeah.
And it has some bread in it. And it brings out a whole new game. If you're going to try to make an old ale and you're going to use that yeast, you better be careful because it has bread. But it brought something different to the game.
Well,
but
Nigel
most
and I
of the
just brewed
things,
that.
when all these other Omega yeast, they brought new stuff, but they didn't change the game.
Well,
this one changes the game.
To that end, I think
this is different.
I think one of the things that James is kind of skirting around the fact that, Mangrove Jack comes out with a bunch of yeasts and White Labs and it doesn't matter who the yeast manufacturer is. It's 1056 or it's 04 or it's 12, it's 1272. It's all these same yeasts and everyone is propagating their own versions. And the thing that I took away from the podcast with the Omega guys was that not only are they doing something different, they know about that something different. They know the genetics. They know the origins. They're not just grabbing a brewery's bottle and propagating a yeast out of it. They're doing something truly unique.
Well, that's what we spend so much time talking.
I mean, honest to God, I think you nailed it on the head. And this is the reason. We talked about this earlier about the reason that we don't have sponsors for this show. And the reason that we have we have you guys as the patrons out there sponsor the show, because I'm not gonna if I don't think this particular thing is absolutely mind blowing, and Omega doesn't pay me anything. They don't give me zero. They don't give me shit. I mean, we carry their stuff in the store, but
we love Omega.
They don't pay me to do these podcasts, and the reason being is because I don't want them to.
No.
I don't want them to.
No.
Because I want to give you guys the honest, absolute purest.
If this would have sucked, we would have told you.
Hell yeah.
It could be White Labs, it could be White Yeast, it could be
whatever.
Omega, it could be Mangrove Jack, it could be whatever.
But one of the things I would say about Omega is that some of the stuff that a lot of the stuff they're bringing out is groundbreaking, and I got to tell you, man, there's not a whole lot of things. I've been brewing for 20 plus years.
20
anyway,
plus.
but I would say that this is. I haven't played with this myself, but I've only drank 3 or 4 samples, and my mind is like going,
Yeah.
because it's something different. It's something new. It's something unique. It's
Styles are going to be rewritten for these yeasts.
because a lot of it, I taste of it, and it's like,
And this is
I
the
get a
first
little
one.
phenolic character, but it's
And the
like in
Kveik,
the
I
far
guess.
background, and it's like this.
Yeah.
You know what I
In
mean?
the more of the base
interesting and
versions,
weird.
I get a little bit more of the phenolic character, and it's kind of hard to distinguish between that and maybe the pithiness
Yeah.
and spiciness,
Yeah,
but
phenols come with yeast.
Yeah,
we get
well, yeah.
phenols and triples all the time.
like you,
But it's not a bad phenol.
like what we just did, what we're doing now is blending
Yeah.
the Pilsner base with the IPA version.
Yeah, I think you're going to find that,
Just
that what
delicious.
my
Yeah.
opinion was, and I said I think that you
A
add
little
some
bit of
bitterness,
extra bitterness.
and it goes a long ways. I think you're going to find that goes a million miles down the road.
This
So-
is
But there's
juicy
like
deliciousness.
There's like
is
this sweet. I mean, like this smoothness. I mean, there's like no harshness. There's like no crispness. I mean, it's just like.
So how far
Have you
out
blended
of
those two yet?
how
No,
far
I
out of realm is
Blend
this
those
from a Belgian?
I don't even know what beers I have in front of me.
I feel
So
like
drink that one fast.
Do half and half of these.
to me,
two.
I feel like
James?
this is still really close to a Belgian yeast, but
I'm
like
gonna
it
say-
needs to have it doesn't have it stands out
So-
on the lemon pith and,
okay.
and black pepper in another kind of way with the mouthfeel on
So-
top of it. So
I say no. This is nowhere close to Belgian. It's something new. It's something different. It's something that's just so out there. It's not. And I saw Farmhouse, and like I said, I got all excited. Holy cow, what's this going to be? And then I started reading more. And then after I even made the claim, what I was going to do, and I brewed exactly what I was going to do. I read what they did at this little brew house, and I said, you know what? I'll let them do what they're going to do. I'm going to brew what I want to do, and see what this yeast will do. And we're coming out with this something so very different.
right,
I mean, it has got some phenols. It's got some lemon. It's got some pepper. It's got some all kinds of, but it's not sour, but it's got a touch of
It's good,
tartness.
yeah.
It's got so
I think
many
that's
of
the
these
pith
things.
kind of
And
concept. Yeah.
and that's what's exciting about it is because it is different. And you want to use this yeast, you make this as a new tradition or a new style. It's something that you want to make. You're never going to use this for anything whatsoever. I mean, you be using an IPA, and it's absolutely predominant in that IPA, and it
It is.
changes it. It
Yeah.
would never, ever, ever win as an IPA.
No,
Well, I
no, or
However,
a Belgian IPA really.
It won't go as a Belgian because it's new. It's
Kind of made
different.
me think of a Belgian pale ale, but taking an
It's-
IPA down to a Belgian pale
And
ale.
it's not that.
Yeah,
It-
yeah.
I
and that's
think-
okay.
What I
I-
think you find here, just sorry, Mike.
Yeah, go
one
ahead.
thing is there's no apple or pear, so there's no French type
right.
character. It's not earthy.
Nope.
If the only thing that comes closest to earthy would be a combination of the pith and the black pepper,
Correct.
Right.
it is definitely everything they say it is with lemon pith and black pepper, with not being an overpowering lemon anything, but like what pith is, and like
Yeah.
that kind of thing mixed with the it's exactly what they say it is. So.
I think it's absolutely awesome that it's something that nobody has come up with being able to pinpoint
Yeah.
Well,
what
and
it is.
along that line, I think something we touched on earlier in the show was the change from the 2008 to the 2015 guidelines. We went to what does the beer really taste like from the region?
Yep.
Not what do we get in the United States. Let's look at the real
That's a
product.
good point.
And that's where those guidelines that's where those guidelines are.
Yeah.
And-
so,
and I-
I'm sorry to cut you off. So you're talking about what we're tasting now, and what we would suggest be put into guidelines in the future.
Correct. So I'm saying that we're looking. James said there's complaints about the guideline, and I don't know what those complaints are, but I
They're
can
old
see,
school fuckers.
I can see that
that read about
Move the
beer.
cheese.
that
So what do you
well,
think?
but we've always thought of this one as this.
Yeah.
Well, now it's that, and I get that, but I see an update very soon just in
for
my
localities.
head,
localities.
there are more yeasts now than we had in 08 and in 15.
Yeah.
There are more styles. I mean, I would love to see an update in the next couple years.
So, and you'll see that, and you'll, and
but
there's no doubt.
I see it quicker than 7 years like we had the last time.
So the BJCP was really smart in the way that they structured the 15 guidelines to allow for certain provisionals.
Sure.
And one of them being this. So if you wanted to make what this little brew pub is making, because it is truly unique,
right?
It's not so widespread that it would go further than a provisional style, but they can do it as a provisional style.
Historical provisional.
I mean, there's a Italian grape ale. Okay, there's a lot of breweries in Italy doing it
this is
as fun.
mean,
This may actually apply to a good central swath of Europe.
I understand that. This is different.
This is different.
That's what I'm
This
saying.
is different.
I think this is going to create
And it could,
styles.
but yet
An Eastern European farmhouse ale.
It may not. It may do nothing different than create a deviation of a style.
Subset.
Because here's the deal: is I could enter this into competition, and don't be surprised if I don't enter the amber version as a Lithuanian amber farmhouse ale, and then I would declare it as a bière de garde, amber bière de garde with the Lithuanian farmhouse yeast. And I would declare what that yeast brings to it. That's all. And then I think that's what
Except
you're going to see.
they don't give you enough characters to say that.
Now, when you got plenty of time.
Then you just relying on the judges.
But the difference is if you went back and you did the research on this brewery, like Greg was talking, they're making a raw ale. So if you want to make that, that's a whole new thing. I would be making, like I said, an amber bière de garde that has a different yeast on it, which has been, I mean, amazing, eye-opening experience. It's been a lot of fun, and we've had some enjoyment out of seeing what this yeast will do, and then blending them together and seeing what could be fun.
Amazing.
No, and no doubt about it. I think when you blend my original 100% pills with Greg's, tells me take that base, bump up a little bit of hops, give it a pinch at the end, and holy cow, we've got a really fun house ale. It doesn't really fit a style, but it's a fun house ale. That
you know, James, you know me, man. You know me for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
4 months.
I'll be real honest with you.
I haven't seen you get this giddy.
Man, I'm telling you, dude. I wasn't even excited about this episode tonight. I'll be real honest with you.
And you're gonna go to home and you're gonna dream.
Oh wow! Shots fired.
No, I'm serious.
No, you should.
It wasn't because James was going to be here.
Yeah, well,
I just wasn't excited about this. Oh, Lithuanian, blah blah blah, whatever.
Whatever it is.
But
I had no prep.
But dude, I gotta
Will,
be.
don't worry.
I gotta
We
be
weren't talking
honest
about
with you, man. I mean,
Will's safe.
Honestly, this may be the most mind-blowing shit I've tasted in 10 years.
Mind-blowing shit. That's what
No, I agree with you.
Can we do a quick
It's
graphic of Stubby's head exploding in a
it's
mushroom cloud?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. What I'm going is not the beers that you guys are brewing is like, oh my god, these are mind blowing. No, what's mind blowing is wow, what this yeast can
It's
do.
the yeast
Different. Yes.
character.
There's no doubt about it. Because I mean, we all knew. I mean, I'm not going to sound egotistical, but I am. We walked into this, and we knew that we were bringing 3 beers that would have been well quality made.
Right.
And we were going to bring them from 2 different angles. One as a pure American IPA with a different yeast. 2 as a very stripped down beer with nothing but exploit the hell out of the yeast as much as you can.
Right.
And then see what comes out. And what we found was the exact same characteristics came through. It told you that the yeast drove the show. And
for example.
I was super excited by the name. Don't get me wrong. It was nothing more than the name because it was something that I had no idea of. And as much as I keep saying, I go back to the purest styles. I mean, you give me any style, I'll come up with a recipe, boom, 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 and do it very quickly back to the purist. But give me something that's out there and I want to
This is
play
out
with.
there, man.
You have a hard time
Strip it down.
challenging that.
Strip it down.
This challenged it. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I was like, oh, wait.
This
I
is
like
unique.
what this did. And this is the first time that I've tried it. I didn't try this at home before I came here.
Right.
I tried it tonight.
Yeah, I tried to get notes, and he said, I'm not tasting it.
I'm
I'd
not
like to
tasting
see what this does with the dark
Listen,
beer.
You know, it would be fun. It'd be fun to
I'd like to
try.
see, like, a stout kind of recipe or
Well,
a porter.
I just don't
yeah.
want to cover up the miracle that this yeast brings.
Right.
Yeah.
This yeast brings so much wonderfulness. Now,
Yeah.
maybe some extra caramel will support it. Maybe some roast malts.
knows?
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
You could try anything.
It might dominate those.
You guys basically did some smashes.
I
with
mean,
this
Yeah,
beer.
absolutely.
Yeah, but the yeast has dominated everything.
Yes,
right?
it has.
Right, that's what I'm
But
saying.
that's
is-
okay.
Is
I
maybe
think
maybe
that's
we
okay.
try some
Man,
roasted,
dude,
some toasted.
I think this yeast could even support like the hazy IPAs.
It-
I really think it could.
I
Don't
know.
be
I
kick
think
you in the
I-
balls. I love hazy
I think
IPAs.
you
but
would,
Why do we
but-
got to keep talking about them?
No,
son
no,
of
no.
bitches?
I'm just saying that it would bring
Well,
a unique.
Well, bringing out the
aspect.
fruity
You know what?
characteristic.
But
I'm
It-
not
it
a
does-
fan of the style, but
It
I'm just
doesn't. It
saying.
doesn't flocculate well, but it doesn't.
Brandon
leave
Juice.
the
Who
yeastiness.
cares?
but beers fall into three categories, right? Hop forward, malt forward, yeast forward. And the yeast forward is the
but
most
man,
limited version of the three.
No doubt about it.
I think this is a yeast strain that is really unique, and honest to God, I've been brewing for almost 20 years, and I gotta say this is a very unique characteristic that. This is one of the things that I mean, my mind is absolutely blown.
It's
Hey,
the
James.
first thing
I-
that you
I
walked
get
in
it,
your
but-
store that you've blown my mind to.
But let's not
Yeah.
Well, you got excited.
But
Where's the Munich?
I mean,
thing?
it's exciting to me.
James,
but,
where's the Munich?
But here's
Munich.
here's exactly my point that we were talking about earlier, is we don't have any sponsors. Omega doesn't sponsor this show. We don't.
We're not getting any
We're
kickbacks
getting
from
any
them. We're not
kickbacks
getting
from them.
any information
Anything,
from them
but-
other than here's our product.
Yeah, and this is what it allows us to do is when we find something that we think is really unique, we really want to tell you guys about it. And man, if you guys are into Belgian Farmhouse or saisons or anything, but it's even more unique than that.
It's different. But you know what's fun is I can guarantee you if you take your best Belgian saison, your golden strong, your triple, your double,
And you
you
use
take
this yeast,
any
it's
one of
gonna
those,
make it amazingly unique.
it will be a similar beer, but it'll be different and it'll
Yeah.
be unique. But you could take all of those bases
Yeah.
and do something wonderful with it, or you could take your flat out Pilsner or your Helles, and that's basically what I did. Take a Helles and throw it at it and see what it does. You could take your Doppelbock and see what it does.
It's kind of like
And-
this spicy saison.
Well,
It is, but it's
It's
not
not
like
the
in
same
your
kind of spicy.
face.
It's not the same.
I've
Man,
been
it's so different.
I've been
man.
working
It's
for
so
Stubby.
weird.
I've been working for Stubby for almost
5, 6
seven,
years,
6 or
yeah.
7 years.
and you've done 2 days
And
work.
You've
in
never
time.
seen his beer weenie yet.
Dude, he
Tonight.
He poo-poos on stuff all the time.
Yeah.
He
Most
poo-poos
things.
on new
Most
yeast,
things.
new equipment. I mean, he's very opinionated. And that's
Yes.
great because he knows what he likes and he sells what he likes.
Yeah.
And I've never
do.
seen him rave about a product like these yeasts,
You-
and it's
different.
awesome.
You know, this is honest to God truth. This is no bullshit. To me, this is exciting because it's different.
It is.
You know what I mean?
I cannot agree more. These yeasts are bringing something completely different
Holy
to the
shit.
table.
I mean,
Listen, I know you can't see this when you're watching on Facebook, and I know you can't see it when you listen on iTunes and stuff. But just the expressions going across the table, the
this is different.
whether it be facial or hand expressions, and the
Whoa,
and the
handies
movement
and
of-
facials.
the movement of growlers. People can't get enough of this.
I mean, the guys at Omega are doing something
there's
special.
So many different variants of opinions,
Man.
but everything's good.
It's exciting, man. And I'm not saying that these beers that we're drinking tonight are gonna set the world on fire, but what I get from the is I'm going.
It's gonna fucking burn.
No.
The yeast is going to change things.
No, but I'm just like I'm like, okay, I'm
It's
thinking of
gonna
this as a
add variants.
yeah. I'm thinking of this as being okay. Well, this is a smash beer, but this is the feature product is this yeast, and I'm going, oh my God, man, this yeast really can contribute a lot to this amazing. I mean, man, this can contribute a lot to beer brewing. Man, this is amazing. And you guys out there, I swear to God, I will truly not get this excited about. Honest God, I was not even excited about this episode tonight. But after I tasted the beers, wow, my mind is blown.
Yeah, so
I'm telling you.
Do something like take your best recipe, the absolutely best. I don't care which one, even if it's a stout. And throw this on it and see what it is. If you don't like it, don't ever use it again. Period.
Right.
But you might find something pretty amazing. And we decided to brew beers that would be different, but yet at the end of the day, they were to allow the yeast to shine. And like Mikey was saying, what would this be like on my oatmeal stout? You know, would it do something different? You know, because. You gotta expect, period. If you put this yeast, it's not fitting any style. So if you're trying to brew for competition, don't use this yeast. If you want to brew something to have fun with, or brew your perfect 45-point oatmeal stout, then throw this on it and see what the hell it does.
Yeah.
It might not change much on a roasty beer, but I'm willing to bet it's gonna add something different.
Lemon pith and black pepper though, and mouthfeel. The black pepper porter and the black pepper in this might be pretty good together, but the lemon pith might add something new to it.
So, Greg, you use yours on a West Coast IPA.
Yeah,
that was freaking amazing.
James, you use yours on one was a particular naked beer.
Basically, naked
that
pills.
was about like
Pilsner,
7 something
a naked
percent.
pills and a naked Munich.
Naked Munich.
Naked Munich.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've deconstructed it, pretty much, and just turned around and said, okay, here's
there's very distinct contribution from the yeast to this thing, man.
Here's
No doubt about
three
it.
totally deconstructed beers where the yeast is now the major contributing factor.
100%. And I didn't expect that out of Greg's IPA.
Right.
I was not. That's the one that floored me. That the same thing came out of that same beer. Now, I mean, he didn't dry hop it, but I don't believe that
I don't
made
think it
that
matter.
drastic of a difference.
Now, if you really pushed the shit out of the dry hopping, I think it would make a difference.
Was that the
but
same recipe that you
it's
did
the Voss
with?
that everybody loved?
And
With
the
the
Voss
Voss?
was holy shit good.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's a
about
Gordon Strong recipe from BYO.
Man,
Like
I'm
3 months
telling you,
ago.
dude, that one-
Yeah.
I
This
would
is
say
so
I would
different.
say that what you did with that, man, that's a whole different ball game. You could throw in the hazy IPA bullshit and all that crap, but what you did with that man, I'm telling you, with the Voss
good
was
beer.
Originally, but even this is, man, that's different, man. That's a lot different than all these hazy IPA shit. I'm just saying, this is.
Yeah, because you can't really call it a Belgian IPA because it's not. It's a Lithuanian IPA, right,
yeah,
Nigel?
this is
Nigel
all-
coined it, Lithuanian IPA.
You know, throw this all in at fermentation and then dry hop the shit out of it. You know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that there's so many of these things that everybody's like, oh, let's throw a bazillion hops at it. But I think a lot of people
You wouldn't need it with this.
Well, I just think that people
Well, I think the
really
hops
kind of like
add a
they
cradle.
glaze over. We want Galaxy. It's $40 a pound. We want
Warrior.
Galaxy.
This is-
whatever. And
Hey,
This is a yeast that
the
can
yeast
provide.
can do
Yeah.
amazing things.
Yeah.
This is a yeast that can provide some of those flavor profiles without the expensive hops.
well,
It's like the Kveik, yeah.
I
They're
just
similar
don't-
in those terms.
I just
Yeah.
think so many people are hop, and then they forget about malt, and then they forget about yeast characteristics. and man, people are failing in that regard because they're and that's one of the things that the Europeans are so excited about coming over here to the United States and selling their malt, because they know they have a more diversified portfolio than any American maltster. And so that they know that they say, hey, we really feel like we have an opportunity in the United States to showcase our malt diversity, because we know Americans are hop, and they really don't. I mean,
but you know what? They're dead on right. But we also like our malty beers too.
Well,
and as we start understanding what they can bring to the table, I think is especially with home brewers and craft brewers. I think that's where craft brewers can really have a lot of fun and put out a lot of wonderful beers is by taking some of these experiences that the German maltsters can bring. We have great American maltsters, but it's not the same, and add little difference.
You know the biggest thing that I've experienced since we've started selling directly to breweries and stuff like that is that one of the things that we really experienced is American homebrew or microbrewer in general is that they really emphasize everything on the hop. It's all about the hop. They don't care. They don't give two shits about the yeast, really. I mean, I hate to say that. It's all Chico yeast. It's all American ale yeast.
If you use those, that's all it is.
And then it's all Conan. C hops or whatever.
Right.
And what I think is the biggest problem with American craft brewing industry right now is that a lot of these guys really don't step outside the box. They know what everybody else is doing. But can you imagine what you could do with this particular yeast with some hazy IPAs? And it doesn't even have to be like freaking some fruity New Zealand or Australian IPAs.
It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. It just has to be
different. And I think that's the biggest problem. Even in the New England IPA craze, man. I don't know about you guys. I'm not a huge fan of the style, but what I would say is that they all freaking start to taste the same to me.
So guess what? I'm the opposite 100%. I'm a huge fan of the style.
Okay.
But we agree. They all start to taste the same.
Yeah.
And especially the really good ones.
Yeah.
The really good ones stand head and shoulders above. They don't taste like yeast bombs. They taste like the hops. They taste all the hops at the end, and they're wonderful, wonderful beers. But then 80% of them taste like murky.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt about it. But
it tastes like it.
But I think there's something to that style. I'm not going to
discredit it. There's a lot
to
do with it.
But at the same time, I think that there's a lot to be discovered with that style. I think there's a lot to be. You know what I mean?
I think we got something here that's a lot to discover with one of our little local brewers right down the street that wants James Lawn to come play with them.
Yeah,
I think we could have a lot of fun with this one because I think this is something very different.
It's very neat, man.
It's a lot of fun, and
well, what's really unique about this style too, I think, is James, that I would say is that one of the things that I find interesting about that is it still has a lot of mouthfeel.
Yeah.
But it's still dry.
It's still dry. It's
weird.
It still ripped it out.
It's weird.
And this is 3 weeks. It ripped it out. I think there's so much to work, and
it's like this milky creaminess. Yeah. But it's still dry.
Yeah. When I tasted mine, the very first sip, and then I tasted what Greg's was, what I expected. And then I put them together. It confirmed what I need to do with mine to make it my new house beer, and it'd be fun to see something different out there, because it's different. It doesn't flocculate very well.
Who cares nowadays?
But who cares? But yet when I left it at 6 weeks, that Munich malt, it was perfectly clear. So it just takes time.
And which maltas you use? I'm just curious.
Yeah, Iriques. So both these are Iriques, Munich malt
They're
and
freaking amazing, dude.
Pils.
Honestly, dude, it's
I've had good success with those.
man. I got to tell you, I was not really excited about this episode tonight, but I got to tell you,
Stubby was definitely not excited about this episode.
So
I'm
he
not
said
bullshit.
it like 9 or 10 times.
Here's the deal:
but
I sat on the other side of the fence. I was super excited about it, and I couldn't wait to get to.
He was,
this
but
day.
it met,
And our
met all
discussion-
your expectations, Rose, right?
And
You know what? It changed my expectations.
And
Okay.
our talk
walked
about
in-
Kveik, he was excited.
I walked
so,
into
I mean,
this so much with an open mind that I didn't try these beers before we sat down tonight.
You know what, Greg? I would say this. I was excited about the Kveik stuff, and I tasted. I mean, you made some
Those
absolutely
are famous.
mind-blowing beers with those, and I'm not bullshitting you. They were amazing.
Thanks.
Well, I'm just saying that this yeast is unique in the fact that to me, I mean, it could add a whole new tool to your tackle box. You know
Right.
what I
Well,
mean?
see, I
It
think
just-
James picked up on that apparently because he was really super fucking excited. About
So
this,
hang on. So what
Yeah.
I think we're getting out of this, and if we boil the nuts down,
Yeah.
when we look at the Kveik,
Yeah.
it changes your process.
Yeah. For sure.
Because it changes you from having to go at 63,
Yeah. Yeah,
or
for sure.
64, to you can not worry about temperature control.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So what, interestingly enough, in this one, and we both treated it at different temperatures, this yeast brought a
unique
different
flavor.
unique flavor to it. So that what the Kveik brings, it brings a process change.
Yeah. Yeah.
This brings a flavor profile change.
Yeah. For sure.
and a process change because
And process.
mine was
Yeah.
they were uncontrolled.
So
So,
you didn't worry about it, and I didn't worry about
and
it.
they were
but
cold uncontrolled too.
I was
so.
still under 70, and I'm a believer of keeping under 70, you're fine.
Well, and the thing is I keep drinking these beers. I'm just amazed at how different they taste and how amazing they taste and different.
Thank you.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
We found something.
I haven't been this excited in
So if we
10
want
years
to
of brewing.
let's move forward on this one. What do we want to do next for this
Let-
one?
let-
To
let's
do an
play with this
expansion
one
on
a
it that we
lot
might actually
because
try to
I-
give Lance a call again or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because I think we got to do some more beers with this style or this yeast, and
I'm
and
up
let's,
for it.
Let's try some different stuff, and let's
Because we
send
can
them-
send them to him
Yeah,
for
let's
him to
send them to
try.
him,
Plus, we
and-
can actually try the raw ale
Yeah,
thing to see
yeah.
if that
and let's try
That's a
some
little
stuff because
wild.
Yeah, I know.
I
You're
think
not a fan
literally.
of that, are you?
I think this is unique and it's interesting, and I'd love to brew a bunch of different beers with this style and send them to him and let him taste them along with us, and let's discuss this style, this yeast strain more because I know it's a farmhouse style, diastaticus type
Yeah.
yeast strain, but I think
Yeah.
I think it really has some unique
It-
characteristics.
I would say I would caution that part of it. Like for me, I felt like I had a stall, and then I was thinking like, you know what? I don't know what's going on, but I've got a week until I need to get this in the keg, and I had like a half a pack at Nottingham just to make sure that things finished. But knowing that there's diastaticus in this, when I did keg it, it went down more than 10 points by the time I got it in the keg, and
Wow.
it was one of those things that's like.
Yeah, and
I
F you,
think
Brandon, for going hunting Bambi.
Yeah.
But I do remember that when you put this stuff in bottles, and I think it'd be the same with the raw ale concept. It's like
Wanna
they don't
keep it
keep
cold.
it. They don't keep it for very long in order to get it anywhere. But like the flavor profile is not meant to last for a long time, so we're not really sure how that works yet.
Well, I'll tell you, I would be interested in throwing this on a just good old-fashioned English brown ale, and I'd be really excited to throw it on an oatmeal stout,
Right.
just to see what the roasted and the chocolatey characteristics from both of those two beers change. I mean, we've had an amber beer, we've had a pale beer,
Right.
we've had a
Hoppy beer. Yeah.
and see what it could do. I mean,
Yeah.
it could have some fun. It could be a complete failed experiment. for
We'll
all we
work
know.
on some
Well, for
Yeah.
sure.
because I think we
Well,
could do a variety of things
but
with this.
that's the thing that I would say that you don't see me get that excited about
No.
something very often, and I really got to say,
We
and
like
this-
your beer weenie.
Well, this is no bullshit.
Free your beer
really-
weenie.
I'm not going to get
Just don't
excited
pull it
about
out.
some kind of fermenter or some kind of bullshit process, whatever. But man, this is truly a unique characteristic,
And there's
something
also the
that-
fact that we've done this all in the later months and the coldest
Yeah.
the coldest months that we've had in a while in Texas.
So man,
you know.
I got to tell you, I'm super excited about this. I think it's a unique flavor, unique. Everything's unique about it.
Yeah.
The mouthfeel, everything.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Let's do some more of this. We're gonna work
Yeah,
on
let's
this.
do
And
it.
we're gonna try to find
Yeah.
something new in the
Um,
future. We come back to it and
my
maybe
God,
get Lance on.
If you guys out there, and no,
because I know
this is
he'd
no
like
bullshit.
to talk about it.
I'm blowing smoke up everybody's ass tonight, but really,
No, not
for,
at all.
for
Everybody's.
well, here's the thing that we talk about a lot about, us being a unique entity. And Omega doesn't pay us anything
No.
to do these experiments. They don't pay us to hype their products or any of that. And that's honest to God the truth.
We just greatly appreciate them.
Nobody,
Man,
nobody
well-
pays us.
well,
Nobody hypes us.
That-
nobody.
that's the reason that we've gone to the patron aspect, is rather than having sponsors sponsor our show, we really want to get excited. When we get excited about a product, it's because we really excited about a product. It's not because Omega is paying us some money to
Let me
advertise.
tell you, Omega needs to keep knocking this out of the park.
Yeah,
Just
for
completely
sure.
knock it.
Yeah.
But it's
And
well, they
I
make
don't
some
see him
great,
letting down though.
Yeah, they really make some great products. But the one thing that we want to convey to you guys out there is that, man, if you have the opportunity, man, use this yeast and send us your samples. Maybe we're on to something that's different. Maybe we're on to something that's unique. Let's learn
Might
together.
help actually drive a style too to know the more information
let's
that's
learn
gathered. so-
together how to use this particular yeast strain. I mean, I think this is amazing. I'm really excited. I really don't get that excited about much, and
He does.
I'm just gonna shut.
No,
the fuck
you're
up.
right about that.
This was
Mikey?
this was a lot of fun. I was really excited about it. I had a rant that I really wanted to talk about, and let's save it for another episode.
No, let's hear your rant.
No.
No,
I want to talk about
go-
feedback,
go for it.
and that could be a 20-minute segment.
Yeah,
So
no.
this was a lot of fun, and
Yeah,
I
for
hope you
sure.
guys will have me back again so we
Of
can talk
course.
feedback. And,
Hell
and-
yeah.
and-
Well,
would it be
James,
better
maybe-
to talk about
maybe
it
we'll-
again?
We always hate having you here, James.
James-
I'm
James,
a some beach.
we love having you here, and we just want to thank you so much for coming in and helping us out with these recipes. In future episodes, we're going to get into a whole new year of good times and great info.
And I'm just gonna fanboy out on Omega Yeast.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We've been talking to some of our local breweries about coming in and working up a series of experiments to keep the content coming. So be sure to keep listening in 2019.
Yeah, so I should try this Lithuanian yeast. I'm just saying.
Amen.
Again, be sure to check out our Patreon account at patreon.com/Come and Brew It Radio. To help support the show, we have $2, $5, $10, and $20 options because every little bit helps. Every little bit, wow, counts. Plus,
Yeah, just buy one of us a freaking
Yeah.
pint of beer a month. That's all we asking. That's all we asking.
we want to reward you while helping you keep the show going, get involved, and improve. In fact, we literally reward a lucky patron every
Yeah, just buy
every
us
time.
Every
one
episode.
pint of beer
Every time.
once a month. That's all we ask.
Like we did tonight.
Exactly.
Just,
So,
just like we did tonight.
thanks again for listening to Come and Brew It Radio. Be sure to share with all your friends on social media. Give us some ratings on iTunes and Stitcher.
He said it right.
And I did. And send any ideas or comments to info@texasbrewinginc.com.
Hey.
Also, you can always check in on the brew days of the guys at their Brew Focus Facebook pages, at Brew with Stubby, at Brew with Brando, at Brew with Mikey B, at Brew with Chris, at Brew with Greg, and at Brew with Nigel.
Aye.
Thanks again,
That's a
and
beard right
come and brew it.
Come and brew it.
Come
brew it.
on.
Man, awesome episode.
Take
Man.
care, fellas. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
That was fun.
Happy New